Sicil entered the house and Jane noticed the lingering smile on her daughter's face as she came in and decided to check on her day. "You look happy, Sicil. What's the good news?" Jane asked. Her curiosity piqued as she followed her into the room. Sicil turned, her smile bright. "Tia and Alex are expecting a baby!" Jane's face lit up. "Oh, that's such lovely news. I'm happy for them. Tia is Ethan's sister, right?" "Yes," Sicil nodded, the smile lingering, but there was a subtle tension in her eyes. Jane noticed the change. "You seem happy for them, but something's bothering you, isn't it?" Sicil sighed, sitting down on her bed. It's complicated, Mum. I'm thrilled for Tia and Alex, but it makes me think about my own situation with Ethan. You know how Dad feels about us?" Jane sat beside her, her expression softening. "Your father does have his opinions, but it's because he worries about you. He thinks Sebastian would be a better match for you, given the history and how well he knows you." Sicil looked down at her hands, her voice barely above a whisper. "I know. And sometimes I think he might be right. Sebastian, he understands so much about me. He's been there through everything. But then there's Ethan. He makes me feel alive, like I can be completely myself with him." Jane listened intently, sensing the turmoil in her daughter's voice. "You sound torn, sweetheart." "I am," Sicil admitted, her eyes filling with uncertainty. "I love Ethan, I really do. But when I'm with Sebastian, it feels like coming home. He knows me in a way no one else does. I just don't know if that's because of our history or if it's something deeper. I'm so confused, Mum." Jane took a deep breath, wrapping an arm around Sicil's shoulder. "I can see why you're feeling this way. Both men mean a lot to you, but in very different ways. And it's okay to be confused. Love isn't always simple or straightforward." Sicil looked at her mother, eyes pleading for advice. "What do I do, Mum? How do I choose between them?" Jane smiled gently. "The truth is, no one can make this decision for you, not even your father or me. I understand why your dad prefers Sebastian. He sees him as a safe choice, someone who knows our family, you and who he trusts. Sebastian has loved you all his life. There has never been anyone in his life since you were born. But this isn't about what he or we want. It's about what you want, what makes you truly happy." Sicil nodded slowly. "I don't want to hurt either of them. But I also don't want to make a choice based on what everyone else expects of me. And you shouldn't," Jane said firmly. "This is your life, Sicil. You need to follow your heart, even if it's hard. It's okay to take your time figuring it out. Just know that whatever decision you make, I will support you. And so will your father, even if it takes him some time to come around." Tears welled up in Sicil's eyes, and she leaned into her mother's embrace. "Thank you, Mum. I needed to hear that." Jane kissed her daughter's forehead. "I just want you to be happy, my darling. Whatever choice you make, it will be the right one if it's what your heart truly wants." Sicil pulled back and gave her mother a grateful smile. "I love you, Mum. I love you too, Sicil. And no matter what, you have my full support." When Jane left her room, Sicil felt peace. And just when changed into her pajamas to call it a night, she received a message on her phone. She opened the message thinking, who could it be so late in the night? "Sebastian, hope you had a good day at Tia's, Sicil. It was wonderful. Tia and Alex shared the big news. They are expecting." Sicil felt a mix of emotions as she typed. Excited for Tia's news, she wanted to share her joy with him but was unsure how he would react. "Sebastian, that's amazing news. Please convey my congratulations to them." Sebastian smiled at his phone, genuinely happy for Tia and Alex. Yet a twinge of jealousy tugged at him, thinking about Sicil sharing her day with Ethan. "Sicil, thanks. So, what's up?" "Sebastian, I have something to show you. Can you meet right now?" Sebastian hesitated before sending that message. He wanted to see her and show her what he had created when she was away. "Sicil, what? Right now? Can it not wait till tomorrow morning?" Sicil's curiosity got the better of her, but she also wanted to delay the meeting, unsure of what Sebastian had in store. A mix of curiosity and nervousness filled her as she waited for his response. "Sebastian, it is a surprise, trust me. Open the door silently. Don't wake up your parents." Sebastian could not help but smile as he sent the last message. He hoped she would like his surprise. Sicil cautiously opened the door, and the memories of sneaking around with Sebastian flooded back. It was a reminiscent echo of their adventurous youth when they navigated the house without making a sound, venturing into the night for clubbing in Sebastian's then-new car. The dim glow of the hallway revealed Sebastian standing outside her door, a half-smile on his face, reminiscent of the mischief they once had. "Welcome back to the secret escapades," Sebastian whispered playfully, a glint of nostalgia in his eyes. Sicil could not help but reciprocate the smile. A mixture of uncertainty and curiosity etched on her face. The room held the weight of their history, and in that moment, she wondered if Sebastian's surprise would transport them back to a simpler time. In the soft glow of the room, Sebastian revealed his masterpiece. A stunning mural that encapsulated the essence of their history, frozen in moments from their childhood to the present. Sicil stood in awe as she took in the vibrant colours and intricate details that Sebastian had painstakingly brought to life. The mural told a story of laughter, secrets, and the connection between two souls. Each stroke of the brush carried a piece of their journey, making the walls come alive with the echoes of their past. Sicil's eyes traced the contours of their youthful adventures, the subtle nuances of their evolving relationship, all immortalized on the canvas of her bedroom. She stood there, unable to form a word, and Sebastian watched her reaction, with vulnerability in his gaze. The love language of the mural conveyed more than words ever could, a silent plea for understanding and an acknowledgement of his feelings for her. Moved by the depth of Sebastian's gesture, Sicil felt a wave of emotions cascade through her. It was a poignant moment, a bridge between their past and the present. The mural stood as a declaration of Sebastian's love. After a long silence with a mixture of awe and gratitude, Sicil finally said, "This, Seb, it is incredible. I do not even know where to start and what to say." Sebastian smiled, a hint of nervousness in his expression. "I am glad you like it, Sicil. I wanted to capture all those moments we have shared, from our childhood adventures to our present journey together." Sicil reached out to touch one of the painted scenes, her voice filled with wonder. "You have captured everything so perfectly. It is like reliving those memories all over again." Sebastian nodded, his eyes shining with emotion. "That is what I hoped to do. I wanted to create something that would remind us of all the joy and love we have had, even during tough times." Sicil turned back to the mural, her heart swelling with affection. "You have done that, and more, Seb. This means everything to me." Sebastian stepped closer, his hand finding hers as he spoke softly. "You mean everything to me, Sicil. I wanted to show you just how much you have impacted my life, how much I cherish every moment we have had together." Tears welled up in Sicil's eyes, overwhelmed by Sebastian's words and the depth of his gesture. "Thank you for everything, Seb." Sebastian pulled her into a warm embrace, his voice filled with warmth. "You don't have to say anything, Sicil." Sicil's tears dampened Sebastian's shirt, and she trembled with emotion, her words muffled by her sobs. "I am sorry, Seb. I am so sorry." Sebastian's arms tightened around her, his voice soft and reassuring. "Shh. It is okay, Sicil. You do not have to apologize, I understand." But Sicil persisted, her voice wavering with emotion. "I have been so caught up in everything, I did not realize how much you have been there for me, how much you have done." Sebastian gently tilted her chin up, meeting her teary gaze with warmth in his eyes. "I have always been here for you, Sicil, and I always will be. You do not have to go through anything alone." Sicil buried her face in his chest, the weight of her emotions overwhelming her. "I don't know what to do anymore. You mean so much to me." Sebastian's fingers brushed through her hair soothingly. "You do not have to figure it all out now, Sicil. Just know that I am here and I am not going anywhere." Sicil's sobs gradually subsided. She clung to Sebastian as if he were her lifeline, finding comfort in his presence. She drifted off to sleep in his arms, sitting on her bed. Sebastian held her throughout the night, his arms providing warmth and comfort. As dawn broke and the first light of morning reflected through the window, Sebastian eventually dozed off too, still holding her close in his arms. Sicil, now awake, looked at Sebastian with a tender expression. The events of the night before played in her mind like a reel, and she could not help but be moved by the depth of Sebastian's feelings. The room gradually brightened, but Sicil hesitated to disturb the peaceful scene. So she glanced at the mural, a visual narrative of their journey, and felt a surge of gratitude for the man who had held her through the night. Uncertain about how to proceed, she decided to wait for Sebastian to wake up naturally. The morning sun continued its ascent, casting a warm radiance on the room. Still nestled in Sebastian's arms, Sicil watched Sebastian with dotting eyes as he began to stir, his eyes fluttering open. There was a moment of recognition, an acknowledgement of the intimacy they had throughout the night. "Good morning," Sebastian whispered, his voice a gentle murmur. Sicil smiled in response, savoring the quiet beauty of the morning. "Good morning, Seb," she whispered back, her voice a soft melody in their tranquil space. In that tender moment, suspended in the timeless embrace, they heard Jane and Albert's voices approaching. They exchanged a startled glance, realizing the precariousness of their situation. With an urgency, they understood the need for Sebastian to make a swift exit before Sicil's parents entered the room. In a hushed tone, Sicil whispered, "Seb, you have to go, quick, through the window." Sebastian nodded, his expression reluctant. "I will see you soon, Sicil," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. With a nod of understanding, Sebastian moved swiftly to the window, his movements careful and calculated to avoid detection. As he climbed out, Sicil watched with a mixture of anxiety and longing, her heart racing at the thought of their clandestine encounter being discovered. Once outside, Sebastian turned back to Sicil. "Take care, Sicil. I will see you during the day," he said softly, his words carrying a promise while his eyes filled with affection. Sicil managed a small smile, her heart heavy with the weight of their parting. "You too, Sebastian. Be safe," she replied, her voice barely audible over the rustle of the curtains. With one final glance, Sebastian blew her a gentle kiss before disappearing. As Sicil closed the window behind him, she took a deep breath, steeling herself for the imminent arrival of her parents. Moments later, Jane and Albert entered the room, their concerned expressions softened by the sight of Sicil. "Good morning, sweetheart. Is everything all right?" Jane asked, her tone laced with maternal concern. Sicil nodded, offering a reassuring smile. "Yes, Mum, everything is fine. Just enjoying a lazy morning," she replied, her words masking the unrest of emotions swirling within. As her parents settled into the room, Sicil could not help but steal a glance at the window, her thoughts lingering on Sebastian and the fleeting moments they had together. Though he was gone now, his presence lingered in the air,